If you think biology is just about memorizing parts of a cell from some dusty old textbook, well, think again. Biology today is this high stakes, super fast paced world of discovery. We're going to see how it's way more than a school subject. It's pretty much the science that's going to define our future.
Okay, take a close look at this. It's a yellow fever mosquito. Now, think about it. We live in an age of self-driving cars and we're sending missions to Mars. So how can something this tiny still be one of the deadliest animals on the planet? Answering questions just like that? Well, that's what modern biology is all about.
And that's because biology isn't some static list of facts you just have to memorize. No, it's a live investigation, right now. Our understanding is changing all the time, not just because of new discoveries, but because the technology we have lets us ask brand new kinds of questions.
So how does a biologist even begin to tackle a massive problem, like the one that little mosquito presents? Well, it all starts with a certain way of thinking. It's a process that doesn't begin with an answer, but with a really, really good question. In everyday conversation, we toss around words like hypothesis and theory like they mean the same thing, just a guess. But in science, whoa, the difference is huge. And getting that distinction is the key to understanding how scientific knowledge actually gets built. A hypothesis is not just some random guess. It's got to be precise. And here's the most important part. It has to be testable. It's a focused statement that you can actually set out to prove right or wrong. It's the starting block for any real experiment. A theory, though, a theory is the heavyweight champion. It's this big, broad explanation that's been tested over and over and over again. It explains tons of data, and it's built on a solid foundation of many, many well-supported hypotheses. Honestly, it's about as close to a scientific fact as you can get.
All right, to see how this really works, let's take that old joke. If we want to make it scientific, we need a testable hypothesis. So for example, the chicken crossed the road because it was seeking a food source it could see on the other side. See, that's specific. You could actually design an experiment to test that. And that, right there, is scientific thinking in a nutshell.
But okay, to test these hypotheses, you need the right tools. And the tools biologists have today are, wow, they're revealing a world that was basically science fiction just a generation ago.
I mean, sure, some parts of biology are pretty easy to observe. We can all watch a Venus flytrap do its thing and see life in action with our own two eyes. But the biggest, most important stories in biology, they're happening on a scale we just can't see. To really understand that mosquito, we have to zoom in. I mean, way in. This picture was taken with a scanning electron microscope, magnified 200 times. It shows us a level of detail that's completely invisible to us. This is the scale where life's real secrets are hiding. And that's the power of modern biology. It's tools like electron microscopes and gene sequencers that let us go beyond just looking at stuff. They let us investigate the fundamental machinery of life, right down to the molecules. Okay, so we've got this scientific method and these incredible tools. But why does any of this matter to you in your everyday life? Well, as it turns out, it matters a whole lot. Just look at the biggest challenges we're facing as a species, right? Fighting disease, feeding a growing population, keeping our planet healthy. The solutions to every single one of these, they're all rooted in biology. Think about medicine. Nature is basically a giant, unexplored pharmacy. For instance, some of the compounds found in the skin of this frog have led to powerful new medicines. Biologists are kind of like treasure hunters, searching the natural world for the next cure. And hey, what about the food on your plate? Biotechnology, using amazing tools like gene editing, is completely changing agriculture. We're talking about creating crops that can survive a drought and finding better, more sustainable ways to feed 8 billion people. So you see, this isn't just science happening in some far-off lab. From the medicine that keeps you healthy to the food that powers your day, breakthroughs in biology are actively shaping the world we all live in right now. And this brings us to one last really powerful question. As we learn more about biology, our ability to change it grows too. We're gaining these incredible new powers to literally alter the living world. The question we all have to face is, how are we going to choose to use them?